Hailuo AI is an incredible tool that can do text-to-video generation, ultra-realistic motion control, multimodal agent creation, seamless start-to-end frame editing, and much, much more. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into every feature it offers so you can become an absolute master at using Hailuo AI. It is created by MiniMax, and it's available on the web, Android, and iOS. For the sake of today's video, we're going to be covering every feature it offers using the web version. However, if you use the mobile version, they offer all the same feature set and you can do a lot with a single platform. And this is the second deep dive video I've done. The first one was on Notebook LM, and if you want to learn everything you can about Notebook LM, I have a video to that. If you guys enjoy these deep dive videos, let me know in the comments below. I will try to do more of them. Let me know which one you want to see next, and don't forget to subscribe for more AI content. So when you're logged in, you can see on the left side, we have home, agent, asset, videos, image, and audio. So let's start off with video. And when we're on video, we have some options. So we can do image to video, text to video, and subject reference. So let's just start off with something simple using text to video. And we're going to use a cinematic wide angle shot of a hip hop dancer performing a complex breakdance routine. And you can see here at the bottom, we have some options. So we can see the different models that they offer. And you do have access to Veo and Sora right here as well. For the sake of our demo, we're going to use their new 2.3 model just so you can see what it looks like, and we can hit go. And we're going to see it starting to optimize our prompt, and it's going to generate our video for us. We have the same exact prompt on 3 different platforms. So let's look at this one first, and you can see here, this is what it gave us, and this looks pretty good. So you can see our character breakdancing, he's doing jumps, and you can actually see that it is an entire like cyberpunk street. I really like that the back of the street has like the little screens that are going, and we can see our character like doing all the different flips. This is using the 2.3 model that I was just showing you. We can flip over to Gemini, and this is the same exact thing on Gemini. You can see that the guy like jumps into his own feet. Like there's a physics problem. Look at his head. And yeah, so it looks cool. The background might be slightly cooler, but the physics are definitely off. Lastly, let's look at Sora, and here is what it generated. And again, you can kind of see Sora's not terrible, but the results between the 3 using the same exact prompt, and his body totally twisted off there. If you like slow down the video, you can see it. But out of the 3, Hailuo is definitely the winner. So you want to use the text to video model if you're doing anything that requires anything physical logic like dancing or sports or anything like that. When you're using Hailuo's text to video generation model, you have some pretty cool options available to you. So at the bottom here, you can see settings, and these are pretty standard when you're generating text to video across the web, across any different model. You can see the resolution, the duration. That is a standard. It is cool, but it's standard. They have something called presets. So you can actually see the preset library for 2.3 prompts, and you can go through and you can say, okay, these are the ones. So maybe we want to do a floating ad, and we can actually see it populate. We can also hit the plus and we can create our own presets. So we can actually create a list of prompts, or we can look at the public prompt library and we can see what other people have created, and we can just quickly click these and use this as part of our system, a part of our prompt. So imagine this like a community with like presets, and it's very quick and easy to use. You'll also notice along the top, there's something called camera controls. So we can see cinematic shots or like free selection, and you can say, okay, I want you to like talk right, and you can see it adds this like button like thing to our prompt because now it is an actual thing that we are adding to our video generation. So we have this prompt here about like jellyfish creating and drifting in the air, and we can have like freedom, circling right, up, like upwards tilt. We have access to all these different camera controls to really like fine tune the video that we're generating using text. So if we have a person, we can say, hey, we want to add walking right to the prompt to what we want to generate. So there are a lot of these little options that you have for camera controls that make it extremely useful. And then of course you can click here to enable or disable to enhance your actual prompt. As most of you probably know, when you're doing text to video AI generation, you're going to not get consistent characters. So if you want to use the same person over and over again, you're going to need image to video. So we're going to go to image to video, and we can actually upload a image. So we have our image uploaded, and we're going to start with just one upload. We're going to keep it nice and simple, and we're going to enhance the prompt. We're going to add a prompt with like, hey, the subject slowly looks up at the camera, their eyes are welling with tears of joy, and we can see like it's going to transition to a smile. Just like before, just like like I was showing you, we can insert these like cinematic shots to like bring it to life. So if we said, hey, let's add this like whole freedom, like tilt out, so it's going to add the same visual effect you see here, but it's going to add it on our video that we generate over here. So this time around, I'm going to actually bump it up. Let's generate 2 of them. Let's see how they come out. For transparency, we are using 2.0 over here. We're going to generate some with 2.3 fast. We're going to generate 2 as well. And then we're going to use just regular 2.3, and we're going to generate 2 as well there. Just so you can see the comparison between the old version of Hailuo and the new version, as well alongside the fast version, using the same exact prompt with the same image, the same photo, which is AI Dana, my AI version of my wife. And they are all done generating. So let's look at 2.0 first. So this is the first version of 2.0. It looks pretty good. Like she's looking up, it's following what we're saying. I don't really see like the tears of joy. I guess maybe a little bit. It's not bad, right? It's still decent. This is the second version of the same exact prompt. You can kind of see what this one looks like. It's pretty good. And now let's move our way up. So this is 2.3 fast. You can see it here. And this was generated very quickly, okay, relative to the other ones. It truly is fast. And again, you don't really see the tears in the eyes, but its generation is very good, especially when you consider and you factor in how fast it actually generated. So let's look at the other fast version here. And I think this one is pretty good. Honestly, they're all like very, very solid. Now let's look at this one. And this is where you can start really noticing the difference. This is where things get serious. So it zooms into her face. You can actually see all the effects and like the quality and the skin and everything. You can see all the details of AI Dana's face, her eyes. That is really, really good. So let's try this version here. And this is what I'm saying. You can actually see the difference, the quality improvement from like 2, and I know 2 and 2.3 fast are pretty close, but you can actually see 2.3 is a substantial difference. This is like substantially better, and it followed exactly what I told it to do. So if you want emotional depth and eye focus and eye tracking and all that kind of stuff, the image to video that Hailuo offers is very, very powerful. And really, we're only scratching the surface of what it's capable of doing. So you'll notice here that we have a start frame, but we can actually add an end frame as well. Currently, at the time of recording, Hailuo 2.3 does not offer a start frame and an end frame, but we can flip to Hailuo 2.0, VO 3.1, or VO 3.1 fast to get this like start and end frame effect. So they have it built right into the tool, right into like the video image to video, and we can now click end frame and we can upload what we want the start frame to go to the end frame. So this is what it's going to look like to start, and that's what it's going to look like to end. And so it's going to like morph the video to make sure that it flows nicely. So we can add a prompt like the lady is smiling and then she sticks out her tongue to make a funny face. And just like before, we can still add all the different movements if we want, and we can say, okay, which one do we want? Or any of these make sense for what we're trying to do? Is there a tracking shot? Are we trying to track motion across the screen? No, definitely not. Do we want it to shake where it looks like we're going through a disaster of some type? No, that doesn't really match. We can do static shot where she's staying still and the world around her or behind her is moving. In this pose in this video here, we don't need any of this because the background is stationary. It's just like a blank canvas, but it's the fact that you have access to all these really cool things that you can use really quickly. So let's generate this one now. And this time around, we are using VO 3.1. So just for transparency, let's generate this. And just like before, we can decide the resolution, we can decide the duration and the ratio, and it's all in like one single platform. And if you notice, everything is really clean. It's not like over flooded with features, because I find some of these platforms have a ton of features and they're really cool, but there's like too much to select from. There's like button overload, where Hailuo does a very good job at adding a ton of different features and giving you access to so much that you can use, but they've really simplified the UI down. And you might have noticed it's pretty quick at generating. So it was already at 60%. And I just want to mention that because these in-depth videos, these in-depth video guides are fairly long, I tried to add as many chapters as possible in the video or in the description so you can like quickly jump from one part to the next. So I'm going to try to cover as much as humanly possible. I'm going to cover every feature that they offer. And if you want to always go back or forward, or you want to jump to a specific part, definitely check out the chapters. Now you can see AI Dana come to life. So you can see her face. She's making facial expressions. She sticks out her tongue. She's like winking and moving it around. It does a very good job at making this look real and natural. So if I didn't tell you this was an AI video, I mean, I don't know how many people are doing this, but she's kind of silly and cute. So if I didn't tell you she was doing this, if I didn't tell you this was an AI video, would you believe this is real? That's my question. Let me know in the comments below. but I think it looks pretty amazing. Real Dana, what are your thoughts? And that example was really cool, but here's where things get scary good. You can see here, I have a before and an after, and my before frame, my starting frame, is this like old cartoon style of two samurais fighting in a forest. If we go forward an image with this end frame here, it's more of like the newer cartoon style. So, and you can see these were generated with Nano Banana, just for transparency, right? Just so you know. But we can see here, we have our start frame, our end frame, and I said a fight scene between two samurais clashing swords in a bamboo forest. The effect we're going to get here is really cool because it's going to go from like that old school black and white to like the new colored version, and you're going to kind of see their fight take place, and the effect is going to be really cool. So you can use like the before, the start frame and the end frame for like really cool purposes. So you can see here, it's going to start off and there's like a still frame, it becomes color, and then poof, they start fighting. I think that as an effect is really neat. And because this is a full in-depth video, we need to cover everything that they offer. So we can actually toggle on and off favorites, and you can see we don't have any. But if we said, okay, this video here of AI Dana is really good, we can actually click this button here, and that will favor our video for future us. We can also change from creation, from all creation types to image or video, so we can like quickly sort all our different content from favorites, and it's even better than that. We can click the dot and we can add it to a folder. So if we said, hey, we're working on this specific project, like samurai scenes, for example, we can confirm, and this is going to be in that folder now. We can also click here, so we can go from simple to detailed, and if we're on simple, we can scroll through and we can see all the different things that we have access to. You'll notice that when we hover, we get access to the prompt and some more information. So if we click recreate, you're going to see it fills in all the information, recreating what we used originally to create this specific video. So you can actually see the start frame, the end frame, our prompt. We can see everything that we've used. It just basically brings it back so we can make minor adjustments, whatever we want to do, and regenerate that video. We can also download the video. We can share it out. You can quickly share it to different social platforms, and we can also download or post it. And that is almost all the video features. There's one more to talk about, which is subject references. Along the top, we can hit subject reference, and you're going to see we can actually upload a photo. So we have this photo here. It's detecting our character. You're going to see that it's going to be able to detect her face, and it's going to use her as a reference going forward. So you can see it has like the little square. It says, okay, we found the character. We're going to hit confirm, and now we can reimagine our character's story in any which way we want. So now we're going to add this prompt here, the woman from the photo wearing a sharp charcoal gray parasuit walking through a tall oak door of a prestigious courtroom. The camera tracks her from the side angle, showing her confident stride as she enters the room. And like I mentioned before, we can like enable or disable to enhance the prompt, and we also still have all these different preset libraries if we choose, if we want, so we can do that as well. So let's just change our model here, and you can see what we have access to in terms of models when we're doing subject references. So we can use Hailuo 1.0 or VO 3.1, 3.1 fast. So I'm just going to generate two with Hailuo like 1.0. We're going to generate two more using VO 3.1 just to see the difference. This is Hailuo 1.0 using the subject reference feature. So we can see our AI Dana, she does look a little bit animated, but it does a pretty good job overall keeping her consistent, right? And keep in mind, this is an older model, but it's still doing a pretty decent job. Here is the same model, and this one looks a little bit better. You can see her walking into the courtroom. Not bad. We have VO 3.1 with the same exact thing, and this one is really cool. You can see her like walk over. It is definitely AI Dana. You can see how she looks back at the camera before she walks in. It is wild how well subject reference works. And this is the last one that VO 3.1 generated. You can see she like opens the door, she like looks back. That one does break a little bit. You can see it. You can see as she like opens the door, she's like walking in, and then poof, there's like a shelf, a little mini wall there that she's walking through. So it did break a little bit, but the character is consistent. The whole like subject reference feature really does work, and it works well. That is everything you need to know about generating videos on Hailuo. We are going to cover images next and then audio. I'm going to leave agents to the end. Agents are incredibly powerful, so we're going to get there. So let's talk about images next. And like I mentioned prior, everything is so simple. So along the side, we have like home, agents, assets, video, image, audio. It's like super clean, super easy to understand and use. So here we have access to different models just like before. So we have Nano Banana Pro. We have the newer models like Nano Banana 2, and that's like newer at the time of recording depending on when you're watching this video. They seem to be keeping up to date with the newest models. So you have access to like Seedream 5.0 Lite, which is an amazing model as well. We have Midjourney, so you can actually see all the different models we have access to. And then we have portrait references. So when we click that, we can actually see my character from what we created prior when we're doing the video stuff. So we can actually just add the portrait reference, and then we can add whatever we want for the image to come to life. So I'm actually going to use a very similar prompt to what I used when I was creating the courtroom scene. Let's just see what it's able to do. And we're going to use one of our shells, and it's going to generate this image. And this is using image 1.0. And you can see we're able to flip between top tier models using reference images really quickly. What's really neat as well is if you notice reference images has like 1 of 14. So you can do 14 different of these reference images to really get what you're looking for. So this is their version 1 model, and that looks pretty good. That is definitely AI Dana. And here is the Nano Banana Pro, and that one, she looks very serious. You can see she's like coming into the courtroom or coming out, and you can kind of see where the door is going. It is really good, and it's extremely powerful. But the image we just generated is only a 1K photo. We can adjust the settings to ramp it up. So if we want to generate in like an ultra clean image for the image to video model that we talked about earlier on in this video, we're talking about all the image stuff, we can actually click 4K here, and we can click auto, and now we can generate a 4K version of this exact photo for what we want. We can take this photo, and then we can go back and bring it to video and use it as a starting frame. Check this photo out now. You can see the quality of this photo is like incredible. So we can actually right click and we can download it without a watermark, with a watermark. We can again add it to folders. We can say video it, and it will bring it automatically in here. We can remove the like end frame, and we can actually just add whatever we want her to do. It's going to start generating this to a video. But we're going to try that in just a second, not with this one, but I want to create a video ad. I want to show you how powerful some of these features are when you start combining them together. So let's come back here to image, and this time around we have AI Dana, and we have a can of Coke. So the woman in the photo is drinking Coke sitting outside on a patio. So we have like our reference photo, and we have her, and maybe let's add our patio. So we're going to upload our own patio photo. So we're going to like try to utilize this one. Let me just bring in a new tab so you can see it. That's a little big. Okay. So there is the patio that we're going to use. That's the one we're referencing for our photo. So we can come back here. We have the woman in the photo drinking Coke sitting outside on a patio, and we're going to do it in 4K because we want it to look really good. We're actually going to generate 2 of these photos. And again, just like everything, you can see the right is just like a continuous feed of all our generations. It's all very clean regardless of which tab you're on. So it's going to start generating our Nano Banana Pro 4K with our 3 reference photos, making the start of our Dana drinking Coke ad on a backyard patio. All right, so check this out. Here are our photos. They are done, and we have the first one, and we have the second one. I think the second one is a lot better than the first one. I'm not sure exactly what happened to her hands. Her hands are, I don't know. There's something off with the proportion. This one is a lot better. It has our entire backyard. So you can see it. It looks really good, right? This is pretty awesome. So we can actually use this photo now if we want, and we can say, hey, let's turn this into a video. If I move myself over, you can actually see we have options. We can say use this video, or we can say, hey, can we reference this photo? And it's going to actually add this in as a reference now, saying, hey, this is a photo that you can utilize when you're like creating your next one. So let's create one other photo using Nano Banana Pro so we can actually create our video using both of the photos, and you're going to see kind of it all work together. So maybe this time around we have her sitting in the backyard. She has a drink on the table. So she's going to have the drink on the table. She's going to pick it up. That's going to be her starting frame. Her drinking is going to be the end frame. And then I want to actually add in one more frame just so I can show you why the start and end frame matter. So this time around, we have a prompt. The woman is splashed with a ton of water. We're going to create that one as well. And I'll be back in just a second when these are all done generating. So we have the first 2 images done, at least, so we can actually get going with the first video. So I'm going to click video on this one here, and you can see we have our start frame here, and then I can actually take this one, I can just drag it over, or I can again hit video, and we can actually click end frame actually, and then hit video, so it like picks the proper frame. So there we go. We have the start frame and the end frame, and we're going to pick the better one between the 2. And now we can actually add a prompt, like the lady picks up the Coke and walks towards the camera drinking it. Don't forget the the camera movements that I was talking about before. So we can go through and we can find the one that like matches what we're looking for. So for this one, we're gonna actually like try pull out, because I'm envisioning like the camera in on her and then it's like moving out where she's like picking it up. It probably could look pretty cool if it pulls off like the vision I'm hoping for. So let's just hit generate here and we're going to start generating that video, and we're still waiting for our other image because that's going to be extremely powerful. And the reason why that's powerful is we have our start frame and our end frame, and imagine that as like scene 1, right? If we want to piece these scenes together, we need like scene 2 to match scene 1 so it looks continuous. So we don't need this image anymore. Our starting image is actually our end frame image. So our end frame image is now like not that one, not the weird handed one. Our start frame image is this one here, which is like the end frame of the first scene. And now we can actually go through and we can like see the image here that we've generated. And this is where she's like has a splash of water. And the whole premise behind like the idea of this one is she's drinking Coke and it's so refreshing. This is what it looks like. That's what I'm going for. Okay. So we can click end, and because we're on the end one, we want to use that. We can hit video, and now we can actually say the lady drinks the can of Coke, the can explodes, water soaks her. It's as the can explodes, it's like all the water making her super refreshed. Again, we're going to go to camera. We're going to figure out which one matches what we're looking for. So maybe this time around we do want shake because it's like this big explosion and we want to have like a really crazy visual effect. So we can use that. So we can generate our like second scene now. I want to show you what it's came up with the first two videos. So let's take a look. So you can actually see here what it looks like. It's like going, she picks up a can, she's walking towards the camera, and there she is. It jumps. It is a little bit funny, but it is very usable because we can take this now, do some like minor chops. So if we chop the video just before she starts like drinking down here, like over here, we can utilize that because now we can jump towards like the next little clip where she's drinking here and then the whole explosion happens. We bring it together and we will get something that looks like this. If you've been following the channel for a while, if you remember, I made a video creating a movie using AI, and it was about a 15-minute video. It had like audio overlays with people talking, and it was all these different videos, and I actually used Hailuo to create that entire video using this whole entire like start frame and end frame concept, creating it piece by piece, frame by frame, to create the entire film, to create the entire video. And if you like combine it with their like video effects in combination with Nano Banana Pro, which didn't exist at the time, things are getting better. It's a very powerful platform, despite the tools being so simple and like so easy to use and so accessible. Next on our journey, let's talk about audio, which brings you to a page that looks like this. So audio is a little bit more advanced, but there is a lot you can do on their audio tools. This is truly a content creation powerhouse. So whether you're generating videos, images, audio, or agent, wait till you see agent and it's wild. You have the ability to create all sorts of different types of content. The first feature we're going to look at is the text to speech, and text to speech is extremely powerful because they offer a ton of different features. So we're actually going to start off with this little paragraph here. I can't believe we actually found it. And you can see we just have some random text of a scene happening of some sort. So we can actually just hit generate and it will generate whatever we want. But on the right, we have some settings, so we can select our voice. And if we click voice, you can see we can go through like the different recommended voices. We can also do your own voices, which we're going to get to just momentarily. But if you go back to library, you can see exactly all the different voices. You can bookmark them. You can like click the dots and you can copy the voice ID if you want. So there are a lot of voices to pick from. There are also filters at the top. So we can say, okay, I want to filter by just English voices, and now we can see all the different ones. We can go a little further. We can say, okay, let's do like audiobook, and then we can filter. So these are the ones that we will have. Let's just pick one at random. It does not matter for the sake of this portion of the video. I want to point out though, you can hit play. You can try any single one you want. So we're going to try this one here, and that's going to be our narration voice. If you look underneath, we have voice modifiers. So we can say, okay, we want you to like really speed up or really slow down. We can change the pitch of the speaker. So not only can you take the voice, you can adjust adjust the pitch, the volume. There's all these different options. But here's where things get kind of crazy. So if you see, we have our entire paragraph here, and I can just click generate. It's going to generate with our voice, and that's pretty standard for voice generation. Of course, you can select your model. We have a turbo model, which is cheaper and faster. There's like an entire speech model, which will sound more natural. So there's all these different models that you have access to. That was the older one, but you can see all the different ones. We're going to stick with speech 2.8 HD. But here's where things get really cool. Okay, so I can't believe we actually found it, and this part of our paragraph sounds pretty excited. So we can actually highlight it. We can go to emotion and we can put happy. So you're going to see that this is now like bolded in orange or like in yellow. Let me know what your color you see in the comments below. But you can see it changes the color. It changes the aspect of the emotion when they're going to read it. I can't believe it. It's absolutely breathtaking. So we can add an emotion here too. So they're like surprised, and you're going to hear these emotions come out when they start talking. And think about how much time we wasted. And we're going to add one other emotion here. You kind of get the idea. You can go through, you can change the emotion throughout to really bring this to life. So not only can you adjust the speaker, the speed, the pitch, the volume, you can even adjust the emotion throughout. So that is one aspect of things you can do. And the other one is, I'm going to like put here. So there's like a weight with the 3 dots. That's what I normally do, trying to get like AI to, or text to speech using AI to like take a pause, but they actually have built-in pauses. So you can see we can put a pause. We can say, okay, pause for 0.5 seconds or 1 second or 1.5, or we can do just a custom time. So we can actually have some pauses to make it sound a little bit more natural. And speaking of making it sound natural, we can actually add different things that are like human-like. So there's something called sound tags. And now we can say like, okay, they're going to clear their throat at this part. It's absolutely breathtaking. Okay, after breathtaking, maybe we're going to add a sound tag, and maybe they're going to like gasp or sniff or sigh, or you can see there's so many different options of things they can do. They can even sneeze. So it sounds really real. It won't sound like robotic, like a AI made it. It's going to sound more realistic. So we can have them clear their throat again. Maybe they like clearing their throat as they're talking, or we're going to have them like breathe for a second or inhale. Again, there are so many different options. So it's not a matter of just adding in your text now. It's a matter of like going through and optimizing it, making it like really come to life with all of these little sound effects and all these little different things you can do. So for example, here, we're just going to add like a little laugh, and we'll try the first couple of lines here. Let's like generate it in a second. We're just going to add one last pause here, 0.5. But you can see it takes a little bit of time, but you can really fine tune the output, which sounds like this.
I can't believe we actually found it. Look at how the sunlight hits the waterfall. It's absolutely breathtaking. But then I think about how much time we wasted, and all the friends we lost along the way who never got to see this.
That sounds absolutely brilliant. It truly does sound natural, like a real human was reading out a script. So just the entire text-to-speech is extremely powerful because you have access to all of these different tools, and you can really fine-tune everything you need to make it sound however you want. Right from like the speaker to all the different settings, it is amazing. And you can see on the bottom right, we can hit download, and we will have options of MP3 and WAV, so you can like download everything. You can see a history of the things you've made, and you can see you can even reset the value. So if you like made adjustments and you're like, oh, what was the default, just hit reset, it'll bring it back. I've tried a lot of different text-to-speech options in different AI tools. This one is by far the cleanest implementation in terms of making all those fine-tuned adjustments really easily. So as with every tool that they offer, there are so many different advanced options, but it all seems really like simple and clean and intuitive because their UI is really simple, clean, and intuitive. So let's move on to music. So on the side, we're going to go to music this time around, and we can actually add some lyrics. And at the top, you can see different models that we have access to. So we have the 3 different versions. We're going to stick with music 2.5 plus, and we can add in some lyrics. So we're going to add our lyrics here, and you can see we just have the lyrics to a song, and we can also add in a style. But if you notice under styles, we have like these different options. So we can like one click and we can add in different styles. We can combine them. If you don't like what's here, you can just quickly hit like the shuffle button and get new inspiration, new ideas, or alternatively, you can just delete it all and put in your own style you want. Now, whenever you're ready, you can hit create, and you can see we can even change the quantity. So you can go from like 2 to 3 or down to 1. I'm just going to create 1 for now, and it's going to start creating our song for us. And you're going to see here on the right, it's going to pop up in just a second, and you can see it's starting to load, it's starting to generate our song. And just like before, we can like bookmark it. As you start creating a ton of different stuff, you can bookmark the ones you want. You can regenerate regenerate it. If you don't like what it created, you can download it, and our song is done, and it sounds like this.
The coffee's cold and the sky is bruised. Another morning, more of the same old news. I'm tracing patterns in the peeling paint. A little sinner trying to act like a saint. The radio is humming.
Adding some lyrics in and a style, we got a very good song. I would put this on par with some of the other music generators that I've done on this channel. So I think it's as good as Suno AI, for example. It's just all on a single platform. So MiniMax has done a really good job at bringing everything together in one location. But let's try some of the other music audio options that they offer, like instrumental. So if we toggle this on now, this time around, lyrics are disabled and we can only just put in a style, so we can put in whatever style we want. So I'm going to put in this super long style thing and let's see what it's able to do. We're going to hit generate and we'll see what it comes back with. And here we go. We have our Neon Highway song ready to go. This one is instrumental, so you can actually see it's tagged accordingly, and we can hit play and it sounds like this. And that one also sounds really good. I'm just like picturing myself playing like the old Donkey Kong game where you're like in the water and that's the background music, the instrumental that's playing. It came out really good. So you can see it's pretty easy to generate like text to speech and music really quickly, and everything's like really simple and easy to do. There are some other AI tools on the left here, and let's start off with voice clone because that's like a big one. So we can actually import our voice and we can drop a file, or we can record audio, and it has to be 60 seconds long. So we're going to hit record. It's going to say, hey, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to talk for about 60 seconds saying all kinds of random stuff. It's going to capture the essence of my voice, and I'm going to be back, and you don't have to endure me talking randomly for 60 seconds, but I'll be back to show you the results in just a snap of a video edit. You can see we are done. It has uploaded 1 of 10 samples, so it has like our first recording done. It's here. We have some advanced settings as well, so we can remove background noises, enable accent optimization. So if we want to like enable this, it's going to like really fine tune my accent. I'm going to record one other 60-second clip just so we have like 2 uploaded samples. If we do all 10, it will be better, but let's just do 2 out of 10 and then I will show you what it looks like. Now I have 2 uploaded samples of my voice, which will help train for my voice. So we can say here, this is just like a sample. I'm going to hit confirm. I have the rights. It is indeed me. Okay. And now we're going to hit generate. It's going to start generating a preview of the uploaded samples trained on my voice with the preview text that we put in. So we're going to have our own voice in just a second. So you can hit play on the preview. You can hear it. It sounds like pretty good, especially considering I only uploaded 2 out of the 10 files. I'm just going to hit confirm just to show you. And then we can type in a voice name. So I'm just going to put Franklin. We can describe the voice if we want. We can say, okay, here's all the settings for our voice. And now you can actually see under like voices, we have the voice that I have. Let's use the instant clone. We can click use, and we are going back to here. This is the one that we started with way back when. And now you can see under voices, we can actually use my voice instead of just a generic voice. And now we can hit generate. It's going to regenerate this entire thing with me sounding happy in the parts, laughing, surprised. It's going to add in everything, but it's going to be like my voice trained on my voice through that 120 seconds that I've uploaded. It is pretty quick, and when it's done, it sounds like this. And we can hit play, and this is what we get. I can't believe we actually found it. Look at how the sunlight hits the waterfall. It's absolutely breathtaking. But then I think about how much time we wasted. And so it is not perfect. It has like the essence of my voice. I don't think it's like 100%, but keep in mind, I only did 2 out of 10 to train on my voice. I don't think this is as good as like 11 Labs per se, but the fact that it is like bundled in with everything else that you get with MiniMax, I think still it's a pretty cool feature, all considering everything else. So that is voice cloning, but we can also do something called voice design. So we can actually say, hey, we're going to create a voice character ourselves that does not exist, because maybe we don't don't like our own voice, and I think most people don't. There's like a scientific thing behind that. Anyway, we can put in a prompt about like whatever we want, an excited male tech blogger, and let me make sure I spelled excited properly. We can see like different options here. So excited reviewer, and we can like quickly put that in. We can go through and we can say, okay, we can add in whatever we want. And when we're ready to go, we can say auto generate. We can auto generate like a text to preview. So it's going to take our prompt up here and it's going to adjust accordingly. And now we can actually generate a brand new voice that does not exist. So instead of designing or instead of cloning your voice, you can actually design your own voice. And when your voice is designed, you can literally take your imported design voices and reuse them over and over again. So if you're creating content and you want to use an original voice and you don't want to use your own, but you want to make sure that original voice you can use over and over again, well, you have the option to do a voice design. So you can actually see like 3 different options here that are like created. So you can play each one, and based off the one you like, you can just hit select. So we can decide whatever we want it to be. We can call it the Franklin AI voice. It doesn't matter. We can select our language again, just like before, put in our description. And just like before, we now have access to this voice when we're doing text to speech. So on text to speech, if we go to use it, or if we hit like use your voice, you can see it. We have access to the AI voice that we just created because we just made this voice. So this one's voice design versus instant clone. So the ability to design your own voices is also pretty powerful for a lot of different reasons I talked about prior. So the last one in the entire like audio suite that I want to talk about is this Voice Isolator. So this will isolate background noise to get just pure audio out from the, like it's going to separate the audio from the background noise. Let's just make it simple. In order to test this out, we have a couple of options. We can upload our own audio file, or we can record audio. And if you're recording audio and you have like background noise going on around you, it's going to help remove all those background noises. So we're going to actually hit record audio. And while we're recording audio, I'm going to do some things. So you can hear like my audio going. I'm going to like clap my hands. I have a plate beside me. So I'm just going to like clank on the plate just so you can hear the background noise. And sorry for people who are watching. Sorry if that is annoying, but just going to show you how this works. Now we can hit pause and we're going to hit isolate. And what's going to happen is it's going to take everything you just heard, but it's going to remove just my voice. And that now sounds like this. I'm going to do some things so you can hear like my audio going. I'm going to like clap my hands. I have a plate beside me, so I'm just going to like clank on the plate just so you can hear. Did a pretty amazing job at removing all the background noise out of the audio I just recorded. So before we had like all these clanks and stuff, and now they're gone. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but it does a pretty good job. And you can actually utilize this now if you want to go into like voice cloning, for example, and we can actually upload a clean recording. And it even says here, you can use the noise separation feature to reduce audio noise. So you can actually use the Voice Isolator tool to help you when you're doing your voice cloning if you want to do that. So you can see just like the audio options on MiniMax is pretty extensive. We have covered video, image, and audio generation. We are almost at agents. There's just a couple of other things I want to show you on the website that you have access to that are available to make your life easier, because they have some tools that are like fine-tuned for specific tasks. So on their main page, if you go down to the bottom, there is an API as well. So if you're a developer, you have access to an entire API. You can see all like the posts and gets. That is extremely powerful. So they have that. But if we click the dots down here, you're going to see something called tools. So if we're on tools and you hover over entertainment, you can see we have the ability to create like a baby, a hug generator, ASMR video, a music generator, avatar creator, kiss generator. FaceSwap has access to all of these different tools. If we go to movie and animation, you can see we can create shorts or anime or characters. You can see what we can do with marketing. So if you want to make a Black Friday ad, you can do that. There's image editing, and then you can see what is trending. So like Dance 2.0. And what makes us slightly different than the other way is this is fine-tuned for a specific task, whatever you want to generate. So here we have the AI anime generator. It's going to say, hey, describe whatever you want. I put in a cyberpunk samurai, and you can actually see what it generated for us. So this is our like anime that it just created based off our single prompt. We can go through images like I showed you before, and then we can like paste in, do whatever we want. We can come to like the preset that way, like I showed you in the beginning of the video, but that's just a nice, quick, easy way of doing like different things. Again, just under tools, you have access to all these different things. I want to actually go through some of the tools with you just to show you what they can do, and they're extremely easy. So for the most part, almost all of these tools, I literally just dragged an image over and might have added some text, but I'll explain to you what I've done as I go along. So we're actually going to start off with this image here, and I'm going to use this as my base for a lot of the different tools that I'm going to show you. So this one is photo editing, and I literally just said, hey, change your jacket to red, and you can see we have the same exact photo, but her jacket is indeed red. And this is using Nano Banana. If we move on, we have a background generator. So this time around, I said, hey, make her background a winter storm in the middle of New York City, and you can see what that looks like. That is a really cool photo. We can move on. We have this one, which will like remove the background. You can see it removed her background. It added something else. We have this one here, which is an object remover. I thought this one was kind of interesting. I just uploaded the photo and it instantly said, hey, let's try to remove the tourist in the background. There wasn't any tourist, but if there were, it would remove it, or you can prompt it, say, hey, remove this, remove that. It has the ability to do that. We have colorizer. So I actually took the time to make this image black and white. You can kind of see like the little thumbnail version above my head, and then we just recolorized it. So that's the like new colorized version, and this is the original. Did a pretty good job. We also did this where I like try to scale down the image as low as possible, try to make it really low resolution. I took this image and I uploaded it to their image upscaler so it can restore a photo. And considering we went from that to this, that's pretty wild. We can move on. They have the Black Friday ad generator. So we can just like upload a single image. You can see here, upload a product image, and it's going to be in a gallery or in a billboard, and we can hit play and you're going to see what this looks like. Let me just mute it for a second because there is audio. It's like people walking across the busy street. We can see AI Dana just sitting there on her billboard. We can move on. We have this one. Again, there's like a lot of fun ad ones, and I just literally uploaded just a single photo, and it has the ability to make full-fledged videos for you. And I know some of this is using agents, like you can kind of see here, this is an agent. We're going to dive more into agents in just a second, but just for now, just know these are like built-in tools that I was just talking about, where you have the ability to literally just like upload a product image and provide a brief description, and poof, you can make a video like this. Or we can say, hey, let's upload an image of a product of people having a refreshing drink on the beach, and boom, just like that, we have an entire ad for Coca-Cola. And to be clear, I'm not sponsored by Coca-Cola, but hey, Coke, if you want to sponsor me, reach out. All right, so anyway, there's that one. Let's move on. We have the baby, so we can literally enter a dialogue. We can make a whole baby video where it can just talk back to us. We have this one here. We can upload a photo. We're going to have whatever we upload, whoever we upload dancing. We can keep going. You can see here, we can create a like digital avatar, and looks a little bit nicer. It's like a nice little base shot. We have this one where we can upload images. It'll create a balloon. You can see it exploding. We have this one here where you can upload a photo of two people and then they will actually end up kissing. We have this one here, which is the Kung Fu one. This one's really cool. So you can see, again, I just uploaded a single photo to be able to do this. Upload a photo to generate your thing, your Kung Fu video, and then you can see it's going to go through. The agent's going to make it all happen for us. So there it is. Like there she is doing Kung Fu. And then if we keep going, here she is. I said this time put a red dress, lots of frills. So this is like a fashion makeover tool. So it has a lot of really cool built-in tools that we can use or make, like this one, an alligator on a surfboard. I think that looks really good as well. So there are a lot of really neat tools that are on here that you can like one click and change how images and videos look. And that's using the entire tool section. So this one was viral filters and it said make the image PS2 style, and you can see it was able to do that. Or we have this one to say, hey, I want a logo for a thumbnail generator, and that's what it came up with. So a lot of these built-in tools are just really neat and extremely easy to use. Just a matter of like dragging over an image or dragging over an image and adding some text. They're really simple, really easy to use. Also, just for the sake of completion, under assets, you can actually see we have folders, and this is where our folders live. So all the folders you make will live here. We can click a folder and you can see all the different things you generated within the folder, or we can go back to all folders, or we have we have template projects, or we can go to all creations and you can see all the different things that we have created. You can see like the different videos, images, it is all here. Now let's go to my favorite feature that they offer, which is Agent. And Agent can literally do anything you can imagine it's able to pull off. So you saw prior that the Agent has the ability to create ads for us. So we can actually upload a couple of photos like her and the Coke. It would be able to make the entire ad for us rather than doing it the way we did earlier on in the video. But I want to try something kind of fun to start, and I just want to show you that you can pull off stuff like this. So I've uploaded a photo of AI Dana and I have the prompt. I want to create a 1-minute video cartoon cartoon about this lady, generate her as a vintage cartoon style first, and then create all the required scenes, convert them into a video, stitching them all together. This is a cartoon about the following, and then I go on to explain what the cartoon is going to be about. So she finishes assembling her new bookshelf, and she stood back to admire her handiwork, and she places a single book on, the entire thing goes kaboom, it collapses, and that's it. So if I move myself over out of the way, you can actually see this is what it's going to do. So this is like our little chat window. We can see like confirm execution plan. It says it's going to create her first. It's going to create 6 images. It's going to go through. We can just say, hey, continue. It's saying, hey, do you want to confirm what we're going to do? Does this all sound good to you? And I'm going to say yes. You can actually see here, it says, hey, we're going to even consult the user about including narration and background. So it's going to estimate to generate 6 videos, 7 images, and consume a large amount of tokens. Or we share with that. And I just said, yes, let's do it. So what's interesting about this is on the left, we have a like infinite canvas. So if we move the cursor up and down, we will go up and down. If I hold control, I can actually move in, and you can actually see here, this is the first image that it is generating. We can also move the hand and we can move around our infinite canvas. And this is basically going to build everything that we just asked piece by piece. I went out and got some food. I came back and we have a completed video. So let's take a look at what it looks like. And here we have it. And you can see we have our Dana. She is, okay, the first 10 seconds needs to be corrected clearly, because that is not really her building it. She's not doing a good job, but here we go. We can see her like looking at it. She's like looking around her room. She's saying, okay, what kind of stuff can I put inside my new bookshelf that I just built? So she's like, has this little sticky note thing, and she's trying to figure out where it goes. Where does she want to put it? And she's just kind of looking around. She's enjoying her new bookshelf. I don't know if I'm doing a good job narrating, but don't worry, I won't have to, because we can use the AI model to do the narration for us. So we're going to do that in a second after we fix the first clip. Anyway, you can see here, she's like, everything's going to fall. And the bookshelf is literally shaking. That is awesome. It is very cartoonish, right? That's kind of what we're going for. And her whole bookshelf is broken. Books are everywhere. And I love the little effect where it just continues to fall and collapse. All right. So that is the video it just created off a single prompt. So you can actually see here, let's just kind of go through it. We have our prompt here. It made the plan. And then after that, it just, after we said continue from the plan, it generated the character image. From there, it generated all of the different images for it. And then from the images to the video. So as I said, the first 10 seconds, we want to fix this. So if we click any of these clips, we can like copy it. We can see just this. So we can say, okay, this is what this clip looks like. And this is the one that I didn't like. We can download it. We can delete it. We can also add it to the chat. And then we can say, hey, can you regenerate this clip for the full video? And then also had narration voiceover, because you can see that was actually like its next question. Do you want to add narration voiceover, subtitles, background music, or is the video complete? So let's just hit go, and it's going to be able to do that now. And I'll be back in just a second to show you what it's able to do.
Armed with confidence and a screwdriver, she tackles her greatest nemesis, Swedish furniture instructions. Victory! She steps back to admire her masterpiece. Surely this will last forever. Time to christen her creation with the first item, a single, innocent bookmark. Just one tiny bookmark. What could possibly go wrong? Oh no, physics has entered the chat. And just like that, Swedish engineering claims another victim. Better luck next time, champ.
So as you can see, the Hailuo Agent is a very powerful tool. It's a unified system that can generate audio, videos, images, and kind of seamlessly all work together based off whatever you need. And then the whole like chat system with the infinite canvas, they can quickly use anything from the canvas to the chat is also extremely powerful, because you can like reuse any parts, adjust, make minor adjustments as you go along to fine tune the way you want it to look, the way you want it to be. And yes, it can add subtitles and music to the clip as well, just by going to the chat saying, hey, can you add some background music? It will generate it. Or you can go to the chat and say, hey, can you add subtitles? And it would add the subtitles as well. So the whole entire agent system I really like. Now you can see what the agent is capable of doing. And I just want to show you some other examples they have on here. So we have batch image creation. So on batch image creation, they have like different highlights of things they can do. So we can take this one image. So say you have like a product image, you want to like create different ad photos, you can take that one image and generate 3 of them on the go really quickly. Whatever you need, it can do it. In this version here, we can take 3 different images. So we can take like the lady like ready to box, the boxing gloves, and the helmet, and then we can add this, the statue, combine them all, and check that out, right? So there's a lot of really cool abilities and things you can do now, like the cats and the cartoon cat and your real cat becomes more like cartoonish. So there's a lot of really cool possibilities of what you can do, and you can change like the styles of images. So this Rubik's Cube becomes so many different styles in so many different ways. And then they have very similar things for videos. So for video, for example, you can see here, we can plan a script, it'll generate the storyboard. This is exactly what I just showed you, and this is just like a nice, simple, clean way of showing you how it works. So let's actually try the Rubik's Cube example. So I've uploaded an image and I said, hey, redesign the Rubik's Cube with 5 different fruit styles. And you're going to see that the agent, the Hailuo agent, is able to pull this off. So it's right now just creating. Let me just move myself over as always. And you can see right now it's creating. It's going to make a plan to pull this off. And we're going to see on our infinite canvas in just a second, all the different things that, all the different cubes that it was able to create. And our cube is all done. So we have the watermelon Rubik's Cube here. We have the strawberry one, and we can go over. We have the orange one. Honestly, this one also looks like a basketball, if I'm being honest, but the other ones look really good, right? And it's still actually, yeah, you can see like the top, it is an orange, but it could also be a basketball. If we can go on, we have the kiwi, and we also now have the dragon fruit style. So it actually told us all the different variants here on the side. It told us exactly what it did and how it pulled it off. So I think it's like kind of wild and super powerful that we're able to do this. And because it's a canvas, we can just like literally rearrange them. We can say, okay, let's just move these things here because I like these ones. And we can say, okay, I want to take this one here. Let's add it to the chat. Let's create a video advertisement for our new strawberry Rubik's Cube, right? Maybe this is the one we want to actually design. This is going to be our actual product. And also keep in mind, you can always click the plus on the left. We can upload our own images, videos, audio, all that kind of fun stuff. There is one last thing we have to talk about, and that is called Hailuo Templates, and it is actually on their homepage. So despite going to all these different things, you can find this right on their main page when you log in. So you're going to see on the home, you can see we have at the top, create videos, images, the agent, everything we just talked about. We have the start frame, end frame. It is all here. But if we scroll down, you're going to see things that are trending. You're going to see like creative image packs, ads, love frames, pet pals. It does all sorts of different things instantly for you. So very similar to what I was showing you before, when we go to like the dots and we go to tools and we can see all these different things, we actually have a lot more on the homepage. So this balloon that we were looking at earlier, there is a lot more than just that balloon. So you can see here, we have like this eat up one. We have like this bobblehead with the spring that spins around. We have the baby playing guitar. There is a lot of different templates that you can just quickly use. So you can kind of go through and you can say, okay, which one do I want to use today? So we have this one where we have like a DJ, a phone booth. We can go through and you can see there are a lot to pick from, and some of them are kind of wild, right? So we have like the video game character. So let's click this one. Let's do it. And now it says we just need to upload a photo to generate our own pixel game. And you can see here we have use template. So now the template is all ready to go. We can actually just take our image, you know, already know, we're going to just drag it over, and it says upload a clear image of the person. We can also do edit mode. So once enabled, we can actually edit things, but let's just keep it simple. We're going to hit go, and you're going to see that our video game template is going to become a video game based off AI data. And you can see the agent has been able to handle everything for you. It identifies it all, and it's creating the pixel game scenes. It's going through and doing everything we need to make this happen. Hopefully I don't get demonetized for me even humming the song. It is in the background. You can see we have our video done. We have Dana here. We have her as a video game character now playing in an 8-bit world, and that looks really awesome. So literally, you saw it, just drag an image over and poof, we have this really cool generated video now. So let's try a couple others. We're just on the trending page. Let's just kind of scroll down and let's use some that are on the trending page itself. So we have this one here. This is short track speed skating. We're just going to use template. We're going to come over. We're going to drag our image over and then we're just going to hit go, submit, and I will show you the results when it is done generating. And here's what we are given. This is AI Dana, the AI version of my wife, and she is now an Olympic athlete speed skating. So you can see on the right, it goes through everything it's done, but literally it's just as simple as just dragging an image, saying go, and it created everything we needed to make this happen. We can also say, hey, we want to recreate it. We want to regenerate. It's going to cost credits, of course. And then we can also hit download, and we can download it without the watermark or with the watermark, depending on whatever we want to do. If we hit recreate, it's going to just bring up the entire template screen again. You can actually see in the top left, we are indeed on template mode. So I want to show you a couple others that I've done, and you don't have to wait. It's the entire same process for pretty much all of these. I've literally just drag an image over. Here is the sample that it had. This is the sample version that we are creating. So this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be like a little plush. You're like, all right. And now we can actually see what it looks like. And this is our version of AI Dana as like a little toy. So it is wild what is possible. And these templates are really powerful. Okay. We have this one. She's at a game. Again, single image. We are given this. And this one is really cool. I'm just going to mute it. I don't want to have audio coming through, but you can see she is at a hockey game now. She's like waving around. And what's really cool is you can see her on the Jumbotron right behind her. Fan cam presented by Rogers. It all looks really legit. Like, this is awesome. This is really cool. So let's continue on. We have this one here. So if I remember correctly, this is a like TikTok style dance of some sort. So let's see what this one came up with. I haven't seen this one yet, and we're going to see it together. She's doing like TikTok dance. Her hands are all like whoosh. So pretty cool. And again, audio on all of these. Just for the sake of YouTube monetization, I am not going to play them. But you can see she is indeed doing a TikTok dance. Looks pretty cool. Let's continue on. This is Dana on a moon. So we can actually see her. She's like pointing back. You can see the Earth. I think the template feature is extremely powerful and very fun because you can do a lot of stuff like this. And I'm going to get to a really good, useful use case in just a minute or just a second, just after I show you a couple more of these clips that I made, because you can use it for marketing. And they made the entire marketing aspect extremely easily. But we'll get there. We'll get there. This is AI Dana on a broomstick, right? You could say she's either a witch or, well, yeah, she's part of the Harry Potter world. Let's just go with that. So we have her on a playground. She's like spinning around and around. Again, everything looks very good. It's very real. I think the templates are pretty awesome, right? Especially considering all I had to do is just drag a single image over. This one's a lot of fun. She's like holding herself. So you can see there's a picture of her in the background. That's like the box that she's going to be in. But then it's also like 3D printing a model of her head. And she's holding one that's been already printed and painted. A couple of minor things with this. And I want to like really point out the detail because it's really important. You can see the 3D print, how small it is on the side, but the one she's holding matches exactly. So it is like exact. It is perfect the way it generated this. This next example here, this one, it actually asked me which platform do you want to bring it to. So upload a photo, select the platform. To select the platform, I literally just typed in Instagram and it just made like a real like system where she is like smiling, she's going back and forth. So if they ask for anything, they made it very simple to use the templates, right? So let's go back, and this is the last one actually. This is the last one. This one is really cool. She is in a movie scene. She's grabbing the rope. She's taking off before the explosion. It's wild. All right. So let's go back here for a second. And I want to show you, this is what I was talking about. So they have ads. And if you click ads, this is where it is extremely powerful if you have a business, if you have a product that you want to sell. So if you're selling a jacket, for example, you could highlight over, and this one says, hey, just upload your outerwear image and it will generate a dynamic fashion poster for you. If you have food, you can use this one. It just says upload food and it'll make a gourmet commercial for for you. We have this one with product photos where the product is arriving in New York City. So you can see they have all these templates, and the templates are very similar to what I was just showing you, where you can just like one click add a product, and now you'll have like a lady walking through with a clothing ad to showcase your product, to showcase the world, saying, hey, this is what I made. So I think all of these are extremely powerful. You can upload a photo to turn your product into a colorful street graffiti painted on a city wall, right? All of these things are incredible, and I think the whole entire Hailuo platform from like start to finish, the fact that you have all these like templates right on the main page, and then you can go to Agent, you can build literally whatever you want, or you can build like videos and images and audio and everything I showed you in one place. It makes the entire tool extremely powerful. The last thing I want to talk about is price, and I probably should have put this earlier on in the video, and I know some people might complain, that might say, hey, it's not free. I never said it was. It's just, this is like a full comprehensive guide of how to use the entire Hailuo platform, because they offer a lot and it is feature rich. And if you want to see more of these in-depth videos, I've done one on Notebook LM. That one was just over an hour. That one was a very good in-depth one with a lot of things you probably have no idea about Notebook LM. So check out that one. If you want to see another one like this on another platform, another AI tool, let me know in the comment below. But you can see here, they do have a free tier, and then it kind of goes up. So we have like standard, pro, master, ultra, and then they have max. And max offers a bunch of like unlimited generations. So you can see what they offer here and what it looks like. And these are the pricing, to be clear, these are the pricing for the yearly, which you get like 47% off. Here is what it looks like for the month pricing. Either way, if you scroll down, you can actually see what it actually entails. They are very, very transparent on everything, on all their pricing. They give you a little FAQ. So that covers everything the entire Hailuo platform offers. And I just want to point out, keep in mind the date of upload on this video. I try to cover everything possible as of today's date. It is an extensive platform. There's a lot there, but they made the UI really clean. I've mentioned that earlier on in the video, but they keep adding new models, and AI is changing really rapidly. And if you want to stay up to date with AI, don't forget to click the subscribe button, as I cover AI on a nearly daily basis to keep you up to date with like all the latest and greatest tools that you can use to make your workflow better, or just to have some fun with AI. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you've made it this far, definitely do subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Just tell the algorithm, hey, you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more of it. And thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with another video.